Michael. Hello, Elijah. Hello, Spirit Wolf. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Da, 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 da. Ba, da, da. Ba, ba, ba. Hello, everybody. Hello. So, as the title says, I'm going to be doing a Possess Sam AU QnA. Also, my mother is in the background. She's vaguely here. I don't think you can see her. They can't see you, but you are there. She is there. My mama is there. If you hear something and you're mildly concerned, please don't be. It makes sense in context.
Okay.
We get...
We have a deal.
Is that okay? All right. So what the plan is, chat, is that I go through all of the animatics, and as I go through it, I read like your questions and your stuff like that. Does that feel fair? Does that feel fair? So I'll have like you guys on my phone here, as long as my phone doesn't give out, and on my iPad, and then I'll one second. There you go. Shush. All right. What happens to Tommy? Okay, if you've watched the animatics, you don't need to ask me that. So what we'll do is I'll go through, you have a genuine question. All right, what is a genuine question? What inspired you to make this? I felt like it. There you go. That's my answer. That's my answer to that. I like the idea of it. I don't know what to tell you. So I didn't watch it. Okay, there we go. You also have a question, Obsidian? I don't believe you. For some reason. Obsidian. For some reason I have trust issues with you. I think that's valid for me to say. Alright, let me just sort out my scenes. 1 second. Alright. Oh. I'm organized. I'm a good streamer. I know what I'm doing. I'll put myself down here, alright, chap? Okay, wait, I'll go. Just... There you go. Alright. Is the audio... Let me check the audio. One second, chat. Okay, that seems so. Alright. Possessed Town AU. That's not what it's called though, is it, mate? How is Possessed Sam so baby girl? That is called the villain effect. Mom. Spirit Wolf says hi.
Hi.
You've been dubbed Grim Mama by Spirit Wolf.
Hi, Spirit Wolf. I'm very happy to be Grim Mama.
Are you alright with people cosplaying Possessed out? Oh yeah, go for it. Will there be another part of it? No. Hello, Fluffy Fox. I didn't think you see a pin. Oh no, I did that on purpose. I saw you. I liked your comment. Bit like E.T. I don't know what you mean by that. Will there be another part of it with purpose like that? No. This is the only Possessed AU I'm doing. Alright. We gotta start the thing. So this is the first one, which is, the name is called Exorcism. Alright? I'll just go through it and then explain my details. So this is just like the vines just crawling everywhere. This is Sam when he's been trapped by the egg, on the egg by Bad Boy Halo and Frost. When he was like, oh, you know, the egg is trying to hurt Tommy and Tubbo, could we not? This is like a detail that is like my thing, just me. Sam's blood is darker and more desaturated than normal blood. It's not like a vivid red. It's like a darkish red. It's like a ruddy brown, because his blood is full of gunpowder, because he's a creeper. So his blood is naturally a darker red than an average person's, which contrasts with the bright, vivid crimson of the egg. And here he's self-cannibalized because Sam dude decided that. And here the difference, and he's getting infected. So this is a reference to him being at the beginning of the lore. This is the original members. You got Callahan over here. You got Punk, George, Sapnap. That's Dream probably, and Bad Boy Halo. So these are some of the original members. This is original Sam's body. Again, I usually the visuals and the lyrics go hand in hand, so that it's usually they go hand in hand, and that you're meant to read the story with both the lyrics in mind and the visuals. So this is Tommy and Puffy coming to find him. So again, I forgot you. The flashback scenes are a different color than the actual scenes themselves are. Like the present scenes. And this is Filza when he's younger, when him and Sam were friends back in the day. Hello, Charlie. Hello. I love that someone's actually committed self-cannibalism. I know, right? Or some dude is just like that. Never face which I can't really get any deeper than that, pretty much. So this is where the main story differs. Instead of drinking the potion, the holy water like he does in the original, Sam crushes the bottle once Tommy and Puffy have gone, and Fran gets scared because obviously he's not supposed to do that. So here's to show that Dream is basically yelling at him, right? He's like tormenting him, because this is canon that Dream said a bunch of stuff to freak Sam out, to torment him. And Quackity here is doing the same thing. So this is more like a reference for the canon, which hasn't happened yet, when Quackity's yelling at him to kill Dream, essentially. But this is just generally Quackity was like, at this point, was a very harsh employer, and was very harsh on Sam, and Sam did a lot of work for him that Quackity did not fully appreciate. So this is him just like generally just yelling at Sam. Is there any particular reason why Sam did not drink the holy water? In the canon, is just at this in the AU, basically the egg had advanced enough that it convinced Sam enough to not drink it, because it was like, we can work together and I can fulfill like your desires and everything. So in this AU, basically the egg just got further than in the canon, essentially. The egg convinced him enough. Can you ask a question? Ask a question. He's slaying and he looked good doing it. He did. So this is just him being overwhelmed by all the noise. So this is Punk not taking him and his prison seriously. And this is Foolish checking on him and worried about him. And the noise is too much. And this is the egg sort of getting irritated by all the question, by like everybody bothering him, and just it being too much for Sam. This is him like trying to reassure Foolish that everything's fine. And this is like Sam's mindscape. So whenever the background is this color, it's Sam's mindscape. It's the curse Sam A and the possessed town, right? I'm gonna throw you, Obsidian. Whenever this is like this like sort of like dark gray background, it's Sam's mindscape. It's in his mind. And like the egg has just completely infected his mind. The egg is making him see things, showing him that Dream is the main threat. So Sam already believes that Dream is the main threat, but the egg is just reinforcing that just to break Sam down more mentally. And this is like his different attitudes. It's like the Warden, and then there's Sam. And this is his mental state. And this is just the egg reinforcing all the different threats that there is throughout the story. And I'm going to throw you, THROW. And like in the story, you'll read it in the story in the fanfic where the egg goes, oh, you know, Techno is a good guy, but you know he will mow anybody down who gets in his way. Bad Boy Halo is, you know, tries his best, but he doesn't understand what I really want. So the egg is basically just trying to, you know, reinforce Sam's fears. So the various Eggpire members. At this point, Ponk isn't actually part of the empire of the Eggpire. He's just pretending to be, to be part of the Eggpire at this point. But Sam doesn't know that. And this is Dream, obviously. Dream is the main threat, and it's freaks Sam out. And this is like talking about like all the times Dream has sort of used him. So he used him before. So he used him before against Tommy. He used him to make the prison and told him to not go see Tommy. And so at the time, him and Dream were friends, so he trusted him. And again, like Dream is tormenting him in prison, and like you know. And is like saying a bunch of stuff that is freaking Sam out, which is again is canon. And so this is Sam just being, you know, manipulated by it, or like being broken down by it. And like this is like the vines are like the egg is like has got him, and it's like the more that Dream speaks, the more the egg has to use against Sam. So as Sam is breaking down, the egg gets more and more influence. Tommy's death. So at this point, Dream is thinking, oh, Sam won't do anything because he's a goody two-shoes. And obviously at this point he's seeing Sam infected by the egg. And obviously that he's like, oh, that's not Sam. So in this moment, Dream is getting his mind infected / brainwashed by the egg via Sam. So here, Sam is getting all of his memories. You got puns here, you got the revival book, you got Vicstar, and you got Laserbeam, and it's just like all of his memories, everything that Dream has hidden away. Sam is now finding out through the egg's brainwashing abilities. So this is the egg who's amused by all of this. And this is like Sam who's just furious at him for hurting Tommy. And this is him seeing Tommy from Dream's perspective. So this is a memory of Dream of when he hurt Tommy during exile, and so Sam is getting this memory and it's just infuriating him all the more. Dream gets let go. Sam doesn't have a use for him anymore. So these bits here are Sam's legs. So it's like Dream is on the floor. Dream is weak. He can't fight back, and the vines are crawling over him. So Dream is saying this, please let me die to be found. So basically, at this point, Dream would rather die than have to deal with the egg, essentially. But like the vines are crawling over him, and he's getting infected as well. He's getting cocooned. This is possess Sam's indifference towards Dream. And this is, again, back in the Mindscape. So, Mindscape Sam barely acknowledges Dream. And Sam is completely taken over. Dream is completely taken over, and he's cocooned, and he's now stuck in the Mindscape with Sam. So this is the cocoon. They stay cocooned. They stay there. They do not come out like a butterfly. They stay cocooned. They stay stuck in there. See me is about to beat up. Fair enough. Dead Tommy. Tommy in limbo with Wilbur. gets brought back to life. Sam is sort of like, oh, you're back, don't worry, everything's good, don't worry about it. Tommy notices the cocoon is a bit freaked out by it, as well as Sam's appearance. He's unsure. He's a bit like Sam is like purposely trying to like hide it from him, and Tommy's a bit like, uh-oh. They go back to the lobby. And Tommy is freaked out, obviously, by what just happened. He's still like, everything's still collecting about what's happened. Sam's sort of a little bit oblivious at this point, because again, he's possessed, so he thinks he's doing the right thing at this point, and the egg is telling him he's doing the right thing. So he's not completely realizing how much effect this has actually had on Tommy. Tommy obviously backs off. He's covered in his own blood, and like obviously he sees as Sam his blood being on Sam's hands in a way, because Sam chose in this moment his duties over Tommy, because Sam thought that Dream was so weak that he shouldn't be able to hurt Tommy. So when he did hurt Tommy, it was like a massive shock. This is like, you know, the same canon talk speech that Tommy had, as in the canon, which is like, you've let me die, blah, blah, blah. And Sam's a bit taken aback. Tommy's obviously very pissed off and tells him to never talk to him again. Leaves. So in the story, I do explain that Sam's body is on automatic, and he does let Tommy completely through, because it's like a double lever mechanic to let Tommy out of the prison. I do explain that in the fanfic. I just couldn't show it here. So at this point, Sam is realizing like what happened to him and what exactly he's done to Dream, which is kind of really messed up stuff. He runs to Church Prime. At this point, Sam realizes he's being manipulated by the egg, and so he's saying like bullshit lie, basically, but the egg's lied to him. And the vines, and because the egg has more strength now, it can attack Sam directly with the vines that are around the server. Everything he told me were lies, so basically the egg just manipulated him and used his own fears. So yeah, this is what Tommy said to Sam. It's like, you let me here to effing die. Which is like the memory Sam has now as the core memory. So this is just basically just the egg just taking over Sam completely. The egg drags him down to the egg room, and he is staying dormant all the way from like March, so whenever Tommy's death was, to April, which is when the red banquet happens, and he just stays dormant and is completely possessed, so that the egg has complete and utter control over him. Nobody knows where he is. He's been missing for a while, and nobody understands. So this is the red banquet, and Frost is kidding foolish. Sam awakens because it's like the triggering of like all his fears accumulated. So the general fear was that nobody is safe on the server. And that they're all hostile to each other. Nobody are real friends. And Sam and the egg told Sam that he needs to, you know, lock them all away and keep them safe from themselves. And this is basically like, just like the trigger of like, these are all Sam's friends who are basically killing each other now because of stupid reasons. And this is like awakening Sam. Imagine what would have happened next. Wouldn't have happened if Sam had bone drink. I mean, I do explain that in the fanfic of like, in the fanfic it does say that like either Sam gets to Church Prime first or he gives into his creeper nature, but the egg gets to him before all of that happens. So now Sam has awakened and he captures everybody at the red banquet. So Anne Frost, everybody here, H-Bomb, Bad Boy Halo, Eret, Puns, Hannah, Ponk, Puffy, Nikki, George, Fundy, and then behind the walls ready to ambush you had Quackity, Techno, and Purpled. Here, the only one who's actually able to fight back even a little bit is Technoblade. All the others are completely trapped. So he's able to fight the most, but because the egg now has an actual vessel, it is much stronger than it was before. So even if it can't influence you in your mind, it can now physically attack you. And then everybody's cocooned except for Enderwalk Rambu, who was there. He nopes out of there. And then this is obviously possessed Sam. Foolish obviously was killed and reappeared at his home, and he jumped into the water before the egg could completely take over him. So this is him purifying himself in the holy water, and it's like disappearing out of him. But before it's completely gone, he gets a vision of Sam in the mindscape, and he's horrified by what's happened. And it's all the cocoons. I wonder what happened if Sam made it to church. I probably just disintegrate. So this is Sam. Just like an airy sight, essentially, to show that this is not Sam anymore. This is possessed Sam. This is ex Sam. So if he had gone to Church Prime, it basically would have just reset the timeline of like back to the canon. But I think Sam would have been worse off. Basically, obviously, he would have been worse off what happened. He probably still wouldn't have let. Obviously, if he did that, Dream probably would have been freed from the cocoon, I imagine, and the story would continue on as normal. I think Sam still wouldn't have let Quackity into the prison, and he probably would have. I think Sam would have just stayed with Dream in the prison and become a hermit. I think. So I think the difference between AU between canon Sam and an AU where Sam was possessed by the egg and then got to Church Prime before it was too late is he would have just stayed a hermit in his prison and never gone out. I think that would have been the main difference. Galaxy. Alright, so that's the first story. That's the first animatic. We still got 5 more. Any questions so far? I've got subtitles turned on. Any questions so far? No? I can keep going? You can take that as a yes. How did Sam being possessed make the egg strong? So it's more so of like, at this point, the egg is just the egg. It doesn't have like a physical body. So possessing Sam, it could use his soul and his body to basically use as a power source, as a battery. And I explained that basically, he, so basically I explained in the explanation video that he basically uses Sam's blood as a power battery. We'll be getting some of that stuff eventually. Why did the egg not choose bad? So in the fanfic, I actually explained that. Let me just get it up. I'll explain. This is where you read my fanfic, because you get so much more context that you would have than if you just, you know. I'll just read the bit to you. So in the first chapter, okay, so this is the egg talking. Bad Boy Halo tries, but we just don't click. He goes about everything in such a grandiose way, while never getting to the point of it all. You, on the other hand, you do. You know what needs to be done for the good of your home. Basically, the egg is trying to say that Bad Boy Halo tries to go about it in, like, a fancy sort of cultish way, while the egg just kind of wants to get to the point of it. And unlike Sam, Bad doesn't actually know, like, how bad Dream is at this point. And Bad is kind of just like doing things because he cares about Skeppy and stuff like that, while Sam actually has like a duty and a purpose, with like the warden and everything. Sam is at a different stage in his mentality than Bad is, that the egg can't use, essentially. He can't manipulate Bad well enough to make Bad do things fast enough. At the moment, Bad is sort of just trying to go about things in a nice way. He's just trying to like nicely convert people, but like the egg is at this point is getting impatient, essentially. Would you have had Exam and Tommy fight if you had planned everyone to be captured since Tommy is immune? I mean, Tommy can't fight to save his life, so probably not. He probably would. Okay, if I had to put Egg Sam and Tommy in a 1v1, it'd be instant death for Tommy. Okay, so no. The fight would have gone out the same as in my story here if he didn't have the plan. Or maybe just specific songs. Oh, they just fit the story I vaguely wanted. What's the name of the fanfic? It is called Paved with Good Intentions on AO3. It's like, you know, like hell, the way to hell is paved with good intentions. So Ripper said, Bad sucks, you're cool though. Basically, yeah, basically. Alright, we'll do the second one now. So I have subtitles on. You should be able to see it. Oh, probably not actually. It's fine. I'll just read them out if I need to make a point. Alright, so this is Sam's cape. It's got like 4 arms that are like wrapping up to him. This is Sam. This is actually what Sam's cape looks at the back. It's like 4 golden arms creeping up his cape. This is Punk over there. And this is Everybody Cocoon. It's the same scene as before, basically. So the egg doesn't care about Punk, essentially. It just passes by him. It's like the egg does not really care for the people Sam cares about. They're just batteries for him. For it, rather. So the unneeded meaning of start and end is basically just the egg just being like, none of it really matters. I'm just gonna do my own thing, essentially. And there's like blood everywhere and everything. The disappearance of his soul literally refers to Sam's soul. Literally to Sam's soul, like he's gonna like, the egg is gonna like eat at Sam's soul until there's nothing left, essentially. Who Remembers Characters literally is a reference to Sam not remembering Filza. From the window of madness, goodbye is just literally about the egg has possessed Sam and it's the egg now. It's no longer Sam. Haven't we met before is literally just the egg being like, oh, I know you from Sam's memories to Filza, but like from before the SMP. Goodbye yourself, literally say goodbye to yourself to Filza from the egg. So want to talk? It's just like a politeness. Filza gets stuck in the mindscape. He sees everybody that's around. He sees Sam's like body on this like throne, and then over here there's techno. And the words here, like an illusion that can't end and stuff like that, are very literal, as in like, you know, a carefree life, an illusion that can never end. The egg is giving them a carefree life by trapping them, and it's an illusion that will never end unless somebody gets rid of the egg. And so Filza sees Techno and tries to, you know, yell at him, like tries to wake him up. But the egg traps even further, so he can't. And this whole scene is basically just the egg just going and catching all the other people in the wider SMP. So this is obviously Connor, this is Jack. Obviously Kanoka Kingdom, you've got Sapnap and you've got Carl Jacobs. Then you've got Alyssa, you've got Skeppy who's somewhere, and you've got Callahan. And these are the ghosts. So you have Schlatt, Vicstar, and Laserbeam, who are ghosts, and they're not getting attacked by the egg because the egg doesn't have any use for them. You know, they're just like, it's souls that don't have a body, so like it can't really trap them. And you'd be like, oh well, it has knowledge of the revival book now, so why doesn't it go after them? Well, it's because it would have to manually go to each ghost to revive them and then capture them, and that kind of like spread out very far and wide, so it would take a lot of time. And also because in my headcanons, the ghosts belong to GrimXD, so at this moment, GrimXD has no means to appear to be summoned onto the physical realm. And so, but messing with the ghost would invite Dream XD to sort of be like, oh, those belong to me, back off, essentially. So, there we go. That's the reason why it doesn't go after the ghosts. And this is just to show the vines are corrupting everything. Like, the corruption is continuing, literally corrupting everywhere. Sam Nook is like, oi, big internet hotel is getting covered, this sucks. Jishlat is more like, that's odd. Anyway, so obviously Tommy's like, what the hell is going on? What's happening? And Sam Nook's like, why are you here? So Sam Nook is like, I've lost all connection with Awesome Dude. I don't know what's going on. This seems like the egg, stuff like that. Think I just got that? Yeah. Why does Skeppy look unfazed with vines? He's sad. He's not unfazed. He's sort of like, he knows the vine, he knows the egg, and it's kind of like there's no point fighting back. He's kind of like part of the egg anyway. At this, so it's a bit like, there's no point fighting back. I'll just accept it. A bit how Callahan is just sort of accepting it. There's no point fighting back, sort of thing. They're giving up essentially. I thought it was because of Mumza. No. So Mumza has no control over the SMP world, which is why there's like a limbo and everything in the world where there is no Dream XD, and the citizens would not have 3 lives. They would just die and then go straight to Mumza, which is why characters like Techno only have 1 heart, because where they come from, you don't have multiple lives. On the SMP, you have multiple lives. The reason they have multiple lives is because of Dream XD. Is my headcanon. Lies Fade into Black is literally just him saying, is literally someone saying, I don't have any connection to Awesome Dude anymore. I don't know what's happening. In the darkness, there's no such thing as light, is literally just the egg, basically, just narrating. And like, it's like in the darkness, there's no such thing as light, and Tommy is the light in a sense, and he's like, oh, how can we help? Can we help Sam? Holy water on its own at this point wouldn't be enough. Like, we can't make Sam drink it. We have to force him in a bath of holy water. Wait, isn't Callahan not fighting it back? He is a god. Okay, he got creative mode. I've sort of nuked that for the story because that would be really annoying. And also, like, Callahan doesn't really do much anyway in the lore. He just sort of exists. So, I usually the way I write Callahan is he's like a passive god in a sense of he just sort of vibes, just sort of does. He makes sure he sort of exists and just sort of, you know, if somebody knows he's a god and they want to ask him for something, he might, but generally he's just kind of passive and just goes along what everybody else is doing. Like how when Dream escaped, he didn't exactly help anyone. He just sort of vibed and existed with everybody else. So Callahan's not fighting back because he's kind of like, nah. He's kind of just going along with it. Right now, basically, it was like, oh yeah, Sam is going for hell right now. So yeah. From this side of madness, goodbye. Just more words. So right now, Tubbo and Rambo are trapped in their house and they're trying to protect Michael. They don't know that the egg has no interest for the NPCs. The egg only has an interest for Rambo and Tubbo, but they don't know that. Obviously, they care about their son. Tubbo being the gremlin he is. And there's like, oh, there's a massive shadow. What's happening? Flash of lightning. So they arrive at Sam's base. Fran, obviously, the last she's seen of Sam is when he refused to drink the water, so she's kind of upset because she doesn't really understand what's happening, but she cares a lot. They take Sam out of the thing, and she sees the vines, and she's worried because she has a feeling she knows what's happened. Egg Sam is just taking over everything. He's feeling rather confident. It's feeling rather confident. It's sort of like getting used to its body, getting used to the surroundings and everything. It's getting used to itself. Sam in his mindscape is trapped. He's completely trapped, and he's sort of like becoming a little bit awake, sort of, and he sees like his friends. He sees Puffy here. He sees Punk and Hannah. That's the thing. The vines are always moving and shifting. They're always moving. Why is it always the pets of importance? Because they have emotional connections to the characters, and animals are pure of heart. That's why. Because animals are important, and I have a very close connection to my cat. That's why. Sam's like, oh no, my friends, like, how could this happen? I want to help them. The egg is like, nope, you sit still. And this, so here is Sam looking up at the egg. This is the egg here. It's like the corruption is continuing. It means that the egg's not done with messing up with Sam's head. This is sort of like, so the egg doesn't have a form usually. It's like blurry. It doesn't have a shape. And so in this instant, it has taken Sam's shape in his mind. Here it's side-eyeing Filza. Hey, haven't we met before somewhere in the past? This is basically me showing that the egg is putting Sam's memories and everybody else's memories on blast in his head. Again, here it's like, hey, you're special to me, I want to talk to you, to Pong. So it's basically mocking everybody in the mind. What time is it? What's today? I don't know. It's basically talking about Sam's original body that's been in like a cryo chamber for who knows how many years. Hey, it would be great if we completely forgot. This is not really referring to anything in particular. It's basically just saying, it's just saying, oh, just give up. Just give up. Just like, who cares? Just give up. Just give in to me, essentially. I love Kaito's voice so much. It's so good in here. So here I'm choosing, say the two people who are fighting back the most are Quackity and Technoblade. Insanity, because Quackity's lost a little bit. Like, it's like floating. Here, the egg is like directly sort of, forcing Quackity to stand down. Here, obviously, Technoblade is one of the stronger people in the SMP, so, like, he has more strength to fight back. So he also needs, like, extra strength to, like, keep him down from the egg. This is why the egg doesn't have multiple bodies moving around at once and only has one. It's because if it had multiple bodies running around, it would like stretch itself thin, and so it would start losing control of people with the mindscape. Here, because it only has one body it is controlling, it can have better control over people with the mindscape. That's why. So this is all the original members of the Eggpire. Hannah. So Dark, fun puns, who was obviously siding with Dream. Light, Bad Boy Halo, who's actually quite a pure soul and just wanted to do what he thought was best for the server as well, but got corrupted by the egg. And Frost, who is one of the original members of the Eggpire. Obviously Sam, who's the source of it all, who is like the main trapped person. Sam hears Tommy calling out to him. Turns around. Samnook, Tommy, and Fran. Samnook's importance is that Sam created Samnook to protect Tommy. That's the main importance here. So the eyes and the background change to show that in this moment, Sam has a split second of control. Sanity, Tommy. I don't know if you realized earlier, but Tommy's eyes and the holy water are the same color. That's to show that Tommy is Sam's sanity, holy water, and is going to be Sam's saving grace. This is Sam remembering why he made Samnook in the first place. Purity is Fran because she's a doggo. She's got pure of heart. She's a little puppy dog. And this is him just remembering the good times with Fran. So Sanity, but that also most sync is basically the egg being... So in the story, the egg is like, oh, funny trick you try to pull there, Tommy, but I hate you too much for that to work, essentially. And so here is like the egg's hatred sort of clawing over Sam, and like he hates Tommy. It hates Tommy so much that this isn't enough. So in this whole scene, it's basically the egg just like completely taking over Sam. It's like where like the blood like the blood and the vines and everything are like sort of like freaking out. Is because the egg's like, no, you come back here. I'm in control. Essentially, I'm the one in control. I hate Tommy, basically. So sanity, with those quotation marks. What is that? The egg sort of mocking Tommy and people for trying to do. The egg attacking. Samnuk is like, right, so that didn't work. Tommy's freaked out that it didn't work. Obviously for Fran, she cares about Tommy as well, and also like the egg is hurting her owner. So like in the idea of like how dogs in Minecraft work, this would be like she knows that the egg is hurting her owner, so she would be attacking her owner. Hello, Peppermint. Here she's jumping and attacking the egg. I'm pretty sure in the story she ends up actually biting the egg, but the egg throws her back. But in this one, he punches her. It punches her, rather. Samnuk catches her. Grabs Tommy. And they run away. So they're unable to run away is like, even though they're unable to run away, Samnuk is still going to try because he's got to protect Fran and Tommy. So the vines were about to catch Tommy and Fran and Samnuk, and like obviously Tommy's freaking out. Flash of lightning like before. Looking up. Oh my gosh, it's Foolish in his giant form and with his lightning. So he's collected, so Foolish has collected Rambo, Tubbo, and Michael because they care about their baby. He's also collected Ghost Spur and Friend because they were in the area, and Foolish has also collected Michelle because that is technically his adopted sister because of Puffy, and so he couldn't just leave her behind. Samnuk lands on his hand, and this is Sam in the distance with all the vines, and so they're leaving. They're going back to the desert. So this is desert. This is like a mini version of the pyramid that Foolish makes in the canon, and it's covered in holy water. As you can tell, I struggled with the pyramid. So here, Samnuk is covering the water. It's sort of blocking the water from hurting Rambo and Ghostbird, because obviously if they get in the water, they're going to burn. And here in the distance, it's Foolish Jr. and Finley. Michelle and the others. Fran is okay. Foolish goes into a small size as he sees Eggpire Sam. Goes in the water. Wow, that's a lot of water that the vines can't just shake off. So basically, to explain, if Egg Sam right now was to drink some water, it wouldn't do anything to him. It would basically be like, why is it spicy? Essentially. But it wouldn't actually get rid of the egg. It would hurt, but it wouldn't actually get rid of the egg. However, this is a lot of water, so it can't just like wash it off. It's like if it was to have like a small drip, if you were to throw water in its face, it'd be like, ow, that kind of hurts. But this amount of water would actually really, really hurt the egg. So that's why the amount of water is too much for it to be able to just like wash it off, to just like brush it off. And here, basically, the egg is Foolish confronts the egg. And this is to be continued. All right. Ask your questions for a little bit. I need to go to the bathroom, but ask your questions, chat. Ask your questions for this episode. Go. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Fine. Chat, you're arguing over silly things. Does Tubba have any excuse on the egg? So the way the nukes work is that there's like a whole setup. So he wouldn't have the time to get to the egg and to set it up to attack the egg. Also, it would nuke the whole thing. So basically, not worth it essentially to do that, and also it would take too long. Why did talk to Tommy? Because the egg in canon hates Tommy and wants to get rid of him. Tommy is seen as an eyesore because it can't like manipulate him. Why'd Nook hold Fran like a damn croissant? Because she is a little croissant. That's why. This bullied me. Well, maybe you should act. You should, you know, maybe you should be good. What Dream Mr. Big character do you hate? I don't really hate any of them. Guess what we have? Nah. No. You cannot. Alright. We're going to episode 3. Like, would he kill Tommy or trap him because Sam wants to protect me? Okay, so the original plan of the egg was to trap Tommy. But then at the end, when it's like, when it realizes there's no way out, but then realizes when there's no way out, it decides that it would rather just get rid of Tommy completely. If it can't trap Tommy, it would rather kill Tommy, essentially. Okay, this is very important. The gore is not literal. It is literally metaphorical to show Sam's mental state. Alright? I made that very clear. The gore is not literal. I don't make any reference to it in the fanfiction for a reason. What's of June turned nice in all of the books? In the original one, he was never mean. In the Cursed Town AU one, he was never mean. He was just misunderstood. In the Paved with Good Intentions, he was literally traumatized into it. He basically got such a dose of his own medicine that it traumatized him into not being a dick anymore. Essentially. So it's not that he turned nice, is that he realized he was maybe a bit of an arsehole and that it wasn't actually nice to be an arsehole, and he decided to try and be better. But he didn't exactly turn nice, he's just trying to be better, and all the others are keeping a very close eye on him to make sure he doesn't F up again, essentially. Ads? Who else has ads? A bit of an arsehole. Yeah, I know. Just a little bit of one. But no, he's not turned good in a sense. He was just so traumatized by his own actions. He was like, wow, I can't suck. Like, in my fanfic, he says that, you know, he understands why others hate him, and he hates him too, essentially. Okay, guys, can we stop with the obsidian thing? It's not relevant to this. Guys, just chat. Stop with the obsidian thing. It's not actually relevant to the thing, and I'd like you guys to stay on topic. Okay, because this is like a Q&A stream, so like, stay on topic, chat. Why Dream turned nice? I literally just answered that, Zadia. No, Obsidian, I'm not backing you up. I just want the top of this chat to stay on topic. Oh, I didn't know. Basically, Dream was so traumatized that he decided that he was a bit of an arsehole. I decided to turn off. What's up with Sam Lies? Is it still 3? No, so basically in the fanfic, I'll see what I wrote because I explained it better in my story. Depression. There you go. this is what happens. See, this is why you guys should read my stories and listen to my audiobook. Okay. Stop, the creature roared, gripping at its head, feeling its control over its host weakening as the man pushed against it. I've completely taken over your body. If I disappear, it'll use up all your lives. You'll die. It tried in vain to make Sam listen. Maybe if it could regain even some control, it could still break out. So basically, I made it that the egg is so intertwined in Sam's body that if it leaves Sam's body, it would be basically just shredding Sam's soul to bits. So basically, Sam would just die. There you go. And where we at? Episode 3. What's the name of the story? Paved with Good Intentions. I'll link it. One second. I pressed the wrong thing. That's the wrong one. Sammy got in my way. There you go. When the egg was going to hurt Tommy, is that what Sam... No, the egg... Sam was able to fight back because of the holy water filling up the room. But we didn't kill original Sam, even though technically it's the same soul. It's not the same soul, though, because it's a different body. It's a clone, so it doesn't count. The minds are connected, but the souls are not. Essentially. Basically, I'm kind of making it that Sam's clones are so different and so, like, distant from the original body that they sort of develop their own souls, but they're still, like, one and the same. It's like a Trinity sort of thing. Do you ever write other holiday fics? I mean, I'm currently writing My Father's Warmth, so yeah. Poor Sam who thinks he should be. How did only Sam remember everything? So in the canon, original Sam just knew everything. So the minds are connected. The minds are connected, the memories are connected, but Sam's just stuck in the cryo chamber. Voice actor, so I'm good in the audio. I tried. I'm not a very good voice actor. They can't control Tommy. Was he scared of it? It's because he can't. So Tommy is... okay, so the egg doesn't like Tommy because Tommy's a nuisance and it can't control it. Tommy is scared of the physical egg because it can't maybe mentally manipulate it, but it can physically hurt him. Tommy doesn't like being touched or hurt. If you would know the original canon of the Dream SMP, Tommy is very, very sensitive to being touched or hurt, especially after his death and especially after the whole stream situation. Guys, stop fighting. That's enough. I'll start timing out people. Abby? My baby creeper. I'll make some if I feel like it. Alright, we're going to the 3rd episode, alright? Again, the gore is metaphorical, not literal. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's just that because I didn't know what else to do it. So basically, it was just like a recap of previous chapters. This is just like very, very hard to see previous scene from the previous animatic. So this is basically a flashback to Sam's, like the whole Sam's mental state before the egg completely traps him. So Father said that this world isn't for me is basically Dream saying, Dream just tormenting Sam. Would Tommy be as sensitive about this as he is a Karagana, or less because he was a purgatory for sure? No, it's not because of purgatory. It's because he died. It's because he got killed. That's why he's sensitive to it, really. In this version of it, it's not so because he's not used to physical body anymore is because he keeps getting hurt all the time, and so he's really sensitive to being attacked. Essentially, is how I've explained it in this canon. But yeah. Anyway, I tried to prepare for new reality. It's basically just Sam just. Yeah, so the green is Sam being overwhelmed by Dream's words, and one thing about guys, I'm not going to talk about the Ask Sam Dad AU stuff, okay? I'm not going to talk about it. It's not relevant to this. Keep relevant with the topic. Okay? I'm trying to make it a Q&A that's easy to follow. So Sam wanting to pray for a new reality is basically just him just wanting to be out of the situation of having to talk about this stuff. Of having to deal with this stuff, essentially, with Dream. He just doesn't want to have to deal with Dream anymore. So come to me, we can change night to day is basically just the egg, just manipulating Tom, manipulating Sam, being like, oh, I can get you out of this, essentially. My title buffs. So this is basically, the moth is basically Sam being brought to the egg, essentially. Bye, Obsidian. So don't remember, don't return to it is mainly talking about Sam's memories from before the SMP, but it can also be just about anything being like just like the torment and stuff like that. So a father told that the umbilical cord is literally like a Dream killed Tommy. There's nothing left. There's nothing left in the bottle keeping squad is basically like I have nothing left to lose from Sam's perspective. So this is just like the egg telling Sam to not remember it, no, don't return to it, in the sense of like I think I don't know. I guess it could be seen as different ways. Basically just the memories are there, and maybe he doesn't want to go back to the memories and stuff like that. So it's kind of like the egg sort of like both exposing Sam's memories and also sort of like draining him of his memories. So this is the egg sort of being like, ooh, somebody's yelling at me. So this is Tommy, Tabo, and Rambu as plushies. Dream's manipulation of the egg, of those three. The three voices from the gramophone yelling at the egg, being like, what the heck are you doing, Sam? Like, what's happening? So these are more like, so vivisection of me, this whole bit about the vivisection of me is basically just like Sam being exposed, like all his memories, all his thoughts, all his ambitions and everything being exposed to the rest of the server. Yelled at the server mystery, I guess, could be like the mystery of Sam. Who is Sam? What's happening with Sam? You know, what is his whole thing? Say hello, honey, I'm home. It's basically the egg saying that in his head of like, hello, honey, I'm home. As in like, hello, I've completely taken over Sam's body. Haha. Let Sam go. Sam's not here anymore. What? He meant so well, but he's so easily influenced. So this is more like Sam now being, so while Sam was overwhelmed with Dream before, now it's overwhelmed with the egg. So this is the egg saying that to Sam. Oh, there's so many things you'll never understand. Like a bit like oh, you're too dumb to get it, but don't worry, I'll look after you, sort of thing. This is like the egg saying like, just stick with me, you'll be fine, I'll take care of it, we want the same thing, ha ha ha. It's just the egg manipulating Sam. So God divided that of father is basically just like, the egg uses brainwashing abilities to get all of Dream's memories. So this is like now the egg sort of tormenting Foolish in the physical world. So the egg is just sort of mocking Foolish at this point. Foolish is getting mad. It's just basically it's just bullying him. So this is more like a hint that Mums is watching, but she can't actually do anything because this is not her realm, essentially. But she is there, and like the whole like messing with the balance of life and death conversation that Sam and Phil had is basically a reference to all of that. Basically, you need to know your lore. So just don't remember it, don't return to it. It's actually about Sam's past with like Philza and everything. And here it's like just mocking Sam. Last, honey, I'm home. Basically, at last, I have full possession of Sam. Again, this is like basically like Sam being forced to watch his own demise, essentially. It's like foolish, sort of urging the others to go into the pyramid and not listen to him. This is just showing the various survivors. Okay, so this bit with like the gore, quote unquote, is not actually Sam's internal organs. These are just vines. If I wanted to draw Sam's actual internal organs, I would have made them accurate. So these are just like Sam just getting exposed to the rest of the server, basically. This part of the song. Oh yeah, this part of the song is so good. So this is just like everybody in the server is aware of like Sam and his true intentions and everything that's happened and stuff like that. So this is Sam when he to see literally like he's literally like everything about him is being exposed to the others. So this is him being tormented in the prison. This is him sort of like big freaked out by everything that's happening on the server. Literally he's like, I'm so sad that the server is ripping itself apart. So is actually watching too? I guess technically, but I'm sort of making it that XD is just in his own realm, just doing whatever. He's sleeping probably, who knows? This happens within 24 hours, so it's not like XD comes and helps with stuff outside of George's dreams, so probably not. Again, this is like Sam in the beginning, and this is Sam's original body, so it's like everything about him is being exposed. And then it's like closed back up again. And this is just everybody watching. This is like Sam basically is just exhausted and can't fight back anymore. He's just tired. So Tub is like, what are we going to do? Foolish? Barnaby's like, foolish? What are we doing? And this is like, Foolish is a bit shaken, but he's determined. Obviously Tommy is like, oh no, Sam. And the egg is like, hehehehe, I am evil. Sam looks trying to reassure Tommy, but everything's gonna be okay. It's like, oh my goodness. The vines, they're coming from below? What is happening? Alright. Any questions thus far? If it was in fact not really okay. It was not in fact really okay. No, it wasn't. If I wanted to draw someone's organs, I would do it good. Professionals have fun. That's not what I said, but fair enough. If I wanted to do it right, I'd do it accurately, is what I said. Actually. Alright, we're halfway through. Any questions before I move on? Stay on topic. Oh, no. George Found is very much trapped. I like it when you guys are asking me the right questions. I'm alright when you guys are asking me the right questions. I had food this morning. It was very fun. How long did it take to draw? Several weeks. At least a week for every animatic is how long it took me to draw. Kicked puppy, Sam. Sam is our little kicked puppy man, indeed. Gotcha, girl. That's not relevant to the topic. Stop it. Stay to the topic. This is a Q&A. Keep it to the topic. Sorry. Yeah, it should be. Why doesn't XD help GNF? Okay, so the reason I gave is that DreamXD can't actually do anything unless he's directly invited / summoned to, and he only really messes with people within their dreams. And the only time he really messes with people like Saptap and George is when it is in their dreams. Mainly George is always asleep when DreamXD is around. It's always like a weird fever dream sort of thing. At this point, nobody has summoned DreamXD to help them, and the only person who has a real connection to DreamXD is George, and George has been trapped, and so the egg, so DreamXD can't really do anything. And the DreamXD also at this point doesn't have any connection to Foolish, so that's its own thing. And also that's it basically. Basically, I've written DreamXD to be a bit like a vampire, where DreamXD can't actually come into the living realm unless he's invited to do so, is what I've decided. So the red resembles the X control and damage over Sam. Yeah, pretty much. And everybody else. What was your favorite frame to draw from the entire thing? Probably the one where it's like Tommy freaking out and Sam and possess Sam's arm. Like, why do you angsty? Because it's fun. Poor. What is the detail that is furthest from canon, out of curiosity? Other than possess Sam's whole dynamic, the whole thing. Other than all of that. What would a bad ending for us look like? Everybody gets trapped and the egg just goes on its fancy way and just takes over other servers. But isn't main plot? Probably that Foolish finished the pyramid so quickly. Go for X went never, unless I get commissioned. George is kind of asleep, so as well. Well, no, George isn't asleep. George isn't asleep. That's the thing. George isn't asleep. But George is very much awake. That's just tormented and stuck in Sam's mind. None of them are actually asleep. They're all very much awake and aware of what's going on, and they're all very much in a living nightmare. What inspired the story? Because I felt like what happens in the ending? I'll have to wait and see. Or watch it. Alright, so, this is the egg tormenting George. George is more awake than he was the entire time. Oh yeah, very much so. George is actually a part of this. Why so angsty? Because I said so. So this is now the egg bullying Foolish, essentially. Leaving Sam all alone like that. Thinking he could take all the burden of being the warden on his own. It's no wonder. He was so easy to manipulate. You imagine like evil laughter in the background, like ha 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 ha. I bet George could still fall asleep. Like, no, the egg won't let him. The egg's like, no, I was staying awake for this. You're weak and not be able to fight back, but you're awake and in pain, suffer, and essentially. And much thing is. Sam and Sam are talking about different moments, yeah. So this is the egg essentially being like, yoo-hoo, Foolish, essentially. Foolish is like, ack, hate that, no thanks, stop it. Grimmy, are you like a vampire, but you feed on angst? No. And then on night, Alwithia replies, it's basically just at this point being like, talk to me, I want your attention, ahaha, let me manipulate you, basically. And so in the story, Foolish is like, wait, why am I at the entrance of the pyramid again? What is happening? Actually went nah on George sleeping schedule. Oh yeah, absolutely. So Foolish is like, let go of everyone. And Egg Sam is like, you don't seem to understand. And Foolish is a bit freaked out. Oh, just copacetic. So copacetic means that everything's fine, essentially. Everything's dandy, everything's good. And so it's like, everything's fine. It's like why you freaked out? You don't understand. Everything's okay. This is what Sam wanted, essentially. So this is what Sam wanted, you know, to keep you all safe. He's such a bleeding heart. So number after number is Ponk and Quackity, so the few people that were in Sam's personal life. After Cry, Bad Boy Halo and Anfrost, the two people who these are like the two of his friends that he created the Badlands with. Like, you know, these are his friends who should have been checking up on him. I'm a little disabled, so I'm gonna end why. So basically, it's just like so basically, you know, they were guards. I don't think they were guards at this point. I'm not sure. Anyway, they were friends. They were meant to be his friends, and they're meant to like help him and look after him, and they didn't. And so the eggs are sort of making fun of Sam for that. So all the loved ones that I love have hung up the telephone. So basically, it's like, all your loved people, all your friends have just, you know, given up on you, essentially. So it's like, time after time after time, the only person who's, you know, really checked up on Sam is Foolish. And Foolish is a little bit freaked out. And maybe you should give back all the love I give to you is basically the egg talking to Foolish about, you know, it's like, about him, like, being, basically the egg wants Foolish to let it possess him again, essentially. What is it actually, like, basically it just wants to do it because funny. But basically it wants to use everybody's souls, energy, blood, whatever, to become super powerful, break out of the server, and then go infect more servers and just become an infection and a virus. It explains that in the fanfic. But basically it just wants to become a virus and just be annoying, just be a pain. Just wants to be strong, just wants to be powerful, because that's what it does. That's just what the egg does, in this AU at least. It's just evil by nature. I love this frame, it's very fun to draw. So I've given up AU QnA. That's it for me. It's basically Sam just being like, I'm too tired, I can't fight back, I don't have any strength left. Just a bit of banter. Yeah. And this is the wires of the telephones that tangle around me is basically just the vines that tangle around me, and this infected everybody. I could tell you this though. Basically, it's the egg saying to Foolish, you don't have any more time to fight. Like, I'm gonna get you eventually, and it's gonna run out for you. I love this one, like, for you, it's just going, for you. It's just like, for you, your time's running out, and I'm gonna get you. So the egg's only motive is evil for the sake of evil, chaos for the sake of chaos, power for the sake of power. Yep, very much. Chaos reigns overall. It continues with the theme of puns and puns of dream. In the end, chaos wins, and I've written the egg as just being one of those many chaotic things that just exist. Exactly. Entirely separate lore, but could the egg corrupt the watcher? I don't really mess with the SMP, with Tales of the SMP stuff, Tales from SMP stuff. I'm not really interested in all of that. I don't know the watcher and all these things. They sound like sort of angel things. I guess if the egg got strong enough, it could probably corrupt even a god, I guess. Probably, I don't know. In my version of the egg, probably, if it got this entire server, as a battery, it probably could. So ignoring my desire is basically just like Sam just sort of giving up. It's like he doesn't think anybody's gonna save him, essentially. Is ever SMP? Okay, okay, if it's not Dream SMP, I don't know what this stuff is. So probably. Jimmy's new design is wait, which design? So I've called you for the 43rd time. Is basically just the egg being like, I've tried to call for your attention so many times, pay attention to me. It's driving me mad, is basically just the egg being really impatient. You all just watched as he lost his mind without even realizing he was trying his best to keep you all safe. And you dare yourself as I forgot. I was so tired at this point. And you dare call yourself his friend. I forgot the word call, but anyway. Then I test from SMP. Imagine assessing being possessed. Do I look like a cat, Shelby? If it's not Dream SMP, I don't care. So basically, the egg is just tormenting Foolish at this point, and just trying to like break his mind so that it can like infect him again. And yeah, Foolish is mad about it. So it's basically the overly attached toddler. The egg is more like All for One in My Hero Academia, where the egg thinks that the world just belongs to it, and it's just a question of it trapping everybody. Basically, the egg is like, I want to trap people because the world belongs to me, and I can do whatever I want because I'm strong. Haha, F you, essentially. So Nas says, yeah, Nas is arrogant, asshole, just a bad person, just evil and chaos incarnate. Just like, ha, I can do this thing. I'ma do it. It's basically just an object of evil and chaos, essentially. That's all it knows. It's like how some things just are bad. It's just one of those bad things. It's just one of those chaotic things who just wants chaos, as long as they can control it and use it. Anyway, so you don't even know who he truly is. Well, neither does Sam. So it's saying, well, you don't even know who Sam is. Well, neither does Sam. Sam doesn't know who he is either. In the sense of it doesn't have any memories. That's what makes it fair. I love All for One. He's such a good villain. So Call Me Baby seeing Tommy. So here it's like triggered by Tommy. It's like, it hates Tommy. Wants to get rid of Tommy. It's so bad. So where are you going, my darling? It's like, Tommy, where you going? So here it's like, something's best left alone is basically like Tommy's whole past and everything is best left alone. Like, you should be leaving it alone because that's like, you know, trauma. Leave it alone. It's like, and here the egg is purposely replicating Dream to get to Tommy. So even though it can't infect Tommy's mind, it can still say and do the right thing and physically say and physically do the right things to break down Tommy, even if it cannot mentally infect it, like it can foolish and stuff like that. Some things better should stay at home, like leave Tommy's trauma and stuff like that alone, essentially. Why'd you never talk to me is basically Egg being like, why'd you never talk to Sam? Sam's done so much for you. Why'd you never talk to him? And then Sam is like, it's like, get away from him. Get away from the egg. But how would it deal with Sam Nook? Okay, it does actually say that in the fanfic. A minute. I'm trying to find it, 1 second. Glancing to the robot, the creature stepped over it. I'll deal with you later, once I have your precious Tommy in it. It's trapped and quiet for once. Sam and Nook let out a frenzy of angry chirps and sounds, but they weren't ignored as the creature continued forward, following the direction of the corridor until it entered a chamber. Maybe it's not this chapter, maybe it's the... I think it's the... Alright, yeah. It couldn't do anything with the robot. It was nothing but bolts and redstone. Foolish, on the other hand. So basically, Sam Nook is just a robot. It's a soulless robot. It's just bolts and redstone, so it doesn't have any use for it. But basically, the egg would just shut Sam Nook down, essentially. But at this point in the story, it's just really hung up on trapping Tommy. So it's like Bill for the first season of Grimmijaggers. I actually haven't watched Driving Phil, so I don't know, but I imagine. So if it's like any creature that's just being evil and chaotic for the sake of evil and chaotic, because that's just its nature, yeah. So is the egg mainly focused on trapping Tommy because he's the one that can help Sam? Yes, it hates Tommy anyway. Tommy is like the one nuisance on the server that just defies everybody. So it's like Tommy is kind of like an anomaly within the members, because Tommy is the one that just, despite everything, still just fights on. So it's more of like Tommy's the only one who can really fight back against the egg because he's immune to it and he's annoying, stuff like that. Some things just better stay at home. So this is just foolish explaining the plan to the others, essentially. Does everybody understand the plan? Ha ha ha. So, die, Stitch, so, die, try, Stitch, so, you're alive, Stitch, so, I try, Stitch, so. I spelled you're wrong. That's fine. So, I try, Stitch, so, I'm alive. Says a host. So, it has a host now, though, would it be able to overpower him? Huh? Oh, you need to reword that. I don't understand it. But can the egg infect other animals? No. I explained that already. No, it can't because it's the souls are too weak. It doesn't have any. Well, it can take over. It can take over them, but it doesn't bother because they're too weak. It's kind of like a drop in the ocean. There's no point taking over them because their souls aren't strong enough. That's why it only goes after the members because they actually have like full body souls they can take over control over. Doesn't like Tommy's total energy. Exactly. So now the egg, so basically what the egg is doing is that it's digging under the water and crawling back up, essentially, is now what it's doing. Bye-bye, Abby. So here, like, the vines are crawling from under the ground and ready to burst through, essentially. If the egg would have succeeded in testing, which is would it have used Sam's body to affect it? It would have used Sam's body until it couldn't anymore. Basically, until the body physically gave out, essentially. It would have used, and then it'll just go to the next person it can like possess, essentially. But I think for the time being, it probably just would use Sam's body as long as the body physically could maintain, essentially. Since it has a host now, wouldn't be able to overpower him. Are you talking about Tommy? The egg didn't have a host and it seems so strong I have control. Yes, but I decided to make Tommy the special case because like that's why I drew Tommy's eyes as the same color as the holy water to show that Tommy has a special resistance to it because he's an annoying bright child. So Tommy's a special case because I said so. But actually, the reason why it can overpower Tommy is because it physically can overpower him. That's why it was able to overpower Techno. It physically overpowered Techno, and because it physically overpowered Techno and physically broke down Techno, it was able to then mentally take over him. If that makes sense. So before, the egg only had psychological means to get to people, and now it has physical means to get to people. That's why it could get everybody, including people who are like really, really far away and stuff like that. So essentially because so that's why it can like still affect Tommy in the sense of it can verbally hurt him and physically hurt him if it can catch Tommy. The problem is here it can't catch Tommy because Tommy keeps slipping through his fingers because Tommy is a slippery little guy. So he's a nuisance. Tommy is a nuisance no matter who the bad guy is. Essentially. But basically in this point, if Foolish hadn't made this plan with all the water, the egg would have trapped Tommy no problem. So here it's just, they're just sort of wandering around the pyramids. So it's like the egg is very close now, so everybody feels its effect. Like even Tommy's sort of like, uh-oh, it's nearby, but Rambo and Tubbo are the most affected. And here it's like breaking through the floor and trapping Rambo and Tubbo immediately. Rambo and Tubbo sort of were purposely bait, but also not. It's like both accident and purposely a trap. Haha, look at those boots. Love those boots. And it's like, haha, caught you, silly. In the fanfic, it directly torments Rambo and Rambo's part played with the prison and all of that. And it's like, love is nothing but a waste. Basically just making fun of Rambo and Tubbo's whole thing. And then it's like, I finally got you, Tommy. I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna trap you. And Tommy's like, uh-oh. Sam, Nook, and Foolish try to intervene. Kind of off topic, but that small Tommy of Tommy's amazing. Yeah, I love it all. So Tommy's just like, oh no, oh goodness, good heavens. So basically, Foolish and Sam Nook are like, oh, we gotta stop it. But basically, at this point, the egg's too powerful, and it breaks through the walls and catches Foolish and like disrupts his abilities, and it captures Sam Nook as well. And like, so Tubbo, Rambo, Foolish is trapped again. It can't take over Sam Nook properly because it's just nuts and bolts. So it's going to come back for it later, and that's the egg. Tommy running away. At this point, the egg is kind of like playing with its food. It's kind of just like just having fun, just tormenting Tommy. It's gotten arrogant, basically. At this point, the egg has gotten arrogant, and it's like, ha ha ha, I've got you, there's nowhere to run, it's just a matter of time. It's gotten arrogant. Oh, yeah, this is to show, so these are all the NPCs and Ghostbur. And the egg has no use for it right now. It's really set on getting Tommy. It's obsessed with getting Tommy. And Tommy's trapped. I can't wait for you to die. Literally, like not literally like I can't wait for you to die, but like the egg is really looking forward to trapping Tommy and getting rid of him finally. I hope you know this is all because of you, Tommy. Tommy's not quite understanding why this is his fault, essentially. Why the egg thinks it's his fault, and here you can see he's like sort of moving his hands. You don't seem to understand. The egg is literally like, ah, guess you don't realize. I tried to get rid of you, but Sam wanted to protect you. It's like literally the reason why Sam got caught in the first place, got trapped in the first place by Bohalo and Anfrost, is because Sam wanted to protect Tommy and Toppo. And here it's like, all is just copacetic, this is all, everything's just fine. This is the egg just like looming at Tommy and just like tormenting him, essentially. His own friends betrayed him because he didn't want them to hurt you. So, again, Tommy's getting traumatized again. Woo, trauma. Dream telling him about exile and killing you drove him insane. And here it's like attacking Tommy, essentially, just bullying him. And also, this is explained in the fanfic. This is a water breathing potion. Having to choose between his duty and you, it broke him. It's basically just bullying Tommy and just making fun of him and just being like, this is all your fault, ha ha ha. Essentially, basically it's to better completely take over him so Tommy has less juice to fight with, essentially. And you do even care. Ha ha, Tommy's like, he did care, but, you know, he's a kid. So he drinks a potion. The egg attacks him. Tommy gives one last look to the egg and pulls the lever. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the water again is the same color as Tommy's eyes. And this is all coming from the water source at the top of the pyramid. And the egg is sort of disrupted by this because it's like, ah, this is really bad. I'm gonna get hurt. Blah blah blah. And maybe you should give out all the love I give to you. It's basically being like, it's basically just like in a way using the niceties that Sam has done for Tommy over the last few, like, you know, caring about him during XR, making Sam look for him is basically like, you should be giving me all these nice things Sam has done for you back to me and just give in, essentially. And it's just really pissed off at Tommy. This is my favorite frame of the whole thing. This is my favorite frame. I love this frame so much. Love this frame. But basically it's Tommy freaking out over... Basically, at this point, either the water gets the egg, or the egg gets Tommy. Essentially, at this point, the egg just wants to kill Tommy and get rid of him because he's so pissed off at Tommy. I'm gonna help myself. Tommy is actually Tommy saying that about himself. Like, he's got no means to fight. He's gonna die, or this is gonna get bad now. I love the detail. Sorry. Nope. So here the water has, so basically the anger that the egg has felt plus the mix of the water has given Sam enough room, it's given Sam a centimeter to fight back, essentially, and to get some movement in and to like stop the egg. So here, that's why Sam is able to, like, you know, stop the egg from hurting Tommy. And like, this is like, basically like danger warning, like danger. It's basically like Spidey sets going off in the egg's mind and being like, this is not metaphorical water. No, literally water. Literally water. Literally physically, look, Noodles, look at the screen. Literally physical water hurting the egg. Literally physical. This is holy water. This whole stuff down here is literally burning it. And so here it's like, that's not what I want to do. This is not me doing this. So this is like Sam using, you know, the egg's words against it, which is like saying time is only ticking away now for you to the egg, saying like, this is it, I'm stopping this is enough, basically. Ignoring my desires, basically Sam knows that he's gonna die if he stops this. I'm getting baptized on screen. Nah, this is getting drowned. Dying on screen is what's happening. So ignoring my desires, Sam's like, I know that if I do this I'm gonna die, but I don't care, essentially. Dark, I've called, and After Dark, I've called you for the... It's just the song. Basically, it's just like the egg. The egg is like... what a way to go. It is one way to go. So basically, it's both Sam and the egg saying that they've called out to each other for so many times to try and get his attention to try and stop each other, essentially. It's driving me mad. It's basically just the egg just losing its control. Tommy getting traumatized. So this is Sam's original body. Wait, as I know Sam's really is in there. No, he's not in there. Rabu is literally not in there. There's literally only Sam Nook. It's literally only possessed egg. And it's literally only possessed Sam and Tommy. You guys need to pay attention. Look. Look. They're in a long corridor. See? The floor has broken through. They're in a long corridor. Alright? They run around the corner. Go right corner. Run around the corner again. Running. They literally pass a whole other room where these guys are hiding in that the egg ignores. And they go into a smaller, if you see here, they go into a smaller four corner room. And this is explained in the story as well, that this is a room where the door shuts. So they're literally trapped in a room together, just waiting for the water to fill up. Rambo is not in there. Nobody else is in there, except the possessed egg, possessed Sam, and Tommy. Nobody else is in there. Alright, Drac Trap. Nobody else is in there except those two. Where'd the egg come from again? I don't know, it just was found in a hole. Essentially. Babuhelo just found it. Am I feeling grim? I'm alright. And so, yeah, so basically Sam's 3 lives are gone after this because the egg basically just took them all basically. And Sam's body disappears into nothing. There we go. That's almost as if paying attention to the visuals is really important because it shows you how the story goes, and also having the fanfic to follow up with it would explain everything to you. It's almost as if I've done that purposefully so that you get the full context, and nobody ever does that. So this is more of a vague thing of basically the revival book is glitching out and fading away because in a last effort to sort of at least do one good thing, Sam has used the egg's brainwashing ability to destroy any knowledge of the book, essentially. And then question mark died by drowning, meaning Sam, the egg, whatever, died by drowning. Whatever that was, died by drowning. Okay, to be continued. Himself included. What? What are you talking about? Okay. Any questions thus far? Forget the revival. Yeah, everybody's forgotten the book. Everybody's forgotten the book. Nobody knows about the book now. Nobody knows where, if it's still around, nobody knows where it is. As far as everybody's concerned, it's destroyed. The knowledge of it is destroyed. The book just doesn't exist anymore. It is out of existence. Because I said so. But what about, I don't care. That's it. The book destroyed. I assume that Dream and Puns destroyed the book, the physical book, and just have it by heart in their head. That's what I've decided. Because I'm cutting out the bullshit. Alright, any questions about first far? I'm not doing recaps. You can watch the animatics, you can rewatch the stream. You know, my cost would be it would be if drowned? Probably. I don't know. Not the rival book anymore. It's the RIP book. It's the book. It's just poofed out of existence. It's gone bye-bye. Any questions? Prob would be drowned escaping Tommy. It'd probably be weird letters drowned in holy water or something like that. Because it did not escape Tommy. That's what it did. It'd probably be drowned trying to fight Tommy or trying to kill Tommy or trying to protect Tommy, depending on what it is. I think it's just be just messed up letters, drowned, died by drowning. God's not there. Gone and forgotten. Yes. Revolver book poofed. Yep. Does it really have knowledge of revival book? I guess it's God, so technically it would, but like nobody wants it at this point, so how did Sam come back? He didn't, actually. The Sam we know is gone and dead, and the memories have all gone back to the original body of Sam. So nobody has come back. It's just the Sam we know is gone and dead, and the memories have gone to the original body of Sam, who has always been there. So Sam did not come back. No, but Tommy was in the room with him, and it's just escaping person that was in there with it. I would say died by drowning. I think it's just simpler. You guys are thinking too much about the nitpicky nuances. What about J-Shot? What about him? J-Shot has nothing to do with this. Well, also, the thing is, J-Shla doesn't really have a leg to stand on because nobody's gonna accept his help, and he's not gonna give it to anybody. He's not gonna give anybody the knowledge for free. So I'm not worried about J-Shla because at this point, Quackity doesn't know he's there. Essentially, Quackity doesn't know about J-Shla being around yet. So and the only person that sees him are the ghosts and Mumza, and at this point J-Shar's probably like, oh, just whatever, as long as I get to escape limbo, I'm all good, and then just goes to the afterlife. Are the ghosts around? I showed them before. They're around, but they can't do anything, and I can't do anything to them unless it wants Dream XD to enter the story. Later on, though, Mumza finds them and just takes them to the afterlife, and they live happily ever after. Well, die ever happily ever after. Afterlife. There you are. What's going on? What isn't going on? So basically, at this point, Quackity doesn't know J-Shla is there, so it's like he's not gonna go look for him. We've got better things to do. All right, go to the 5th episode. So Tommy's in tears still and wet because obviously he just got out of the room full of water. Overghost, the thick and the animatic make it seem it's just well, but nope. The animatic do because I didn't have enough time, but in the last chapter. Wait, AO3 is being a pain. Wait, so Ghostbur said all the other ghosts have left? Carl Jacobs asked with a raised eyebrow to Rabu. Seems so. Apparently he could leave as well if he wants to, but he says he wanted to stick around here, the Enderman replied to his fellow traveller, the two men glad to have their memories intact finally. He didn't go into specifics, but Phil seemed to understand. So wait, so Ghostbur said all the other ghosts have left? There you go. Isn't there parts of the monster and other people already trapped so he wouldn't have drowned out completely? Basically, I've just decided that Sam's gone, so therefore the power's gone, so therefore they're all free, essentially. What about Bad Boy Halo? He's still trapped. So is the egg physically just gone now? Did they move on? So there's no. The egg is still there. It's still intact. It's still covered in obsidian, technically. It's still, the egg itself as the physical egg is still very much there, but it's like gotten so weak and so worn out that it's basically reduced to nothing but the egg, and all the vines and everything have wilted. Basically, being drowned in holy water has exhausted it so much, it's even weaker than it was before. And especially because, like, since it lost all the control over all of the various citizens and stuff like that. So the egg is still there, but it's like even weaker than it was before, and it can't even manipulate vines that are close to it because it's so exhausted by all the holy water and stuff like that. So now is the perfect moment to cover everything in obsidian even more. So it could technically come back, it would just take longer. So the way that, so technically, but because the way that happened, the things that the people have done now is that they covered it in obsidian, they covered it in holy water, they just closed it up. They basically just made a seal and just said, don't let anybody in or out ever again, essentially. So they've just basically just drowned it in more holy water, covered it in obsidian, and just hope it goes away, essentially. If the goner's book, does that mean Wilbur doesn't get revived? Yep, nobody gets revived. Like, technically it could come back, but the citizens won't let it, essentially. To be honest, if the egg needs to get to be fair, yeah. It's like the evil has been sealed away and it's too exhausted to do anything, essentially. Maybe another like 100-something years, maybe it'll come back. So that's just the egg. It's just Tommy checking on everybody. Everybody's like, again, like the vines aren't bright crimson anymore. They're wilting. What's your favorite song from his? Probably the last one. I really like the last one. It's really cute. I like all of them, but the last one has a special place in my heart. Heart. So here, all the vines aren't bright crimson anymore because they don't have any of the power left anymore. This is all thanks to Sam's blood and Sam's power and Sam's body. So they don't have it anymore. So it's literally just the egg just sort of wheezing in the egg room, just going and just sort of dying. It is a scrunched up misery of its former self. So Rambo's traumatized and Tubbo's pissed off. So it's like Phil breaking out of the egg, of the cocoon as well. This is like the leftovers in the egg room that are wilting. Everything's weak, everything's gross, everything's murky. And this is H-Bomb helping Hannah out. Well, fixing the holes is going to be a pain, ain't it? Yep, that's why it takes so long for him to fix everything. Puffy and Punk getting out. Foolish is like, mother, friend, with Foolish Jr. and Finley, and then this here is Michelle. This is Fran up here. This is Tommy, Tubbo, probably Ghost Spur, friend Michael is somewhere here, but everybody getting hugs. Everybody's happy to be reunited. Michelle's like, Mama. There's more conversation about everything in the story, in the fanfic, but basically everybody's apologizing to each other. Everybody's like making contacts, reuniting friendships and everything. Here, Phil's and Techno are checking on each other. Ghostbus sort of hoping that, you know, he'll get spoken to. But Philza is more pressed about finding Sam's original body. But he doesn't retell Techno at this point. Techno's been like, what's going on? Ghostbus sad because he was like, oh, I would have liked to speak to my dad and my friend, but guess they don't want to. And Friend is like, Fran's sad. And Fran is sad because everybody's reuniting friendships and stuff, but Sam isn't here, and so she's really, really sad. I want to know, how did Sam get free from the egg controllers, because I told me it was both. So basically, thanks to the holy water, so basically it was the egg losing control for a moment because of its anger, the holy water, and the fact that the egg was going to hurt Tommy. It's a combination of everything that just gave Sam that little centimeter, little inch to just go, nope, we're not doing that today. Alright, bye-bye, Noodles. What happened to Sam's body when he was being possessed? Like, I know that his physical body, was it covered in vines? The physical body is the one that died. So Sam's physical body is dead, essentially. And because it's a clone, it doesn't go into limbo or anything. It just returns, all the soul and everything and all that just returns to Sam's original body. That's in the cryo chamber. All the memories and everything just go back to the original body. So Fran's sad because she's like, where's my Sam, essentially. Ghost and friend try to reassure her, or try to like comfort her a little bit. Fundy is like, Dad, essentially. Papa. And Techno's a bit like, where are we going? What are we doing? And feels determined to find his friend. Because in this one, he sort of feels a little bit guilty that he abandoned Sam, basically. They go off into the sunset, and then here, Carl Jacobs, Sapnap are like, Quackity! We're sorry, we didn't realise we felt abandoned. And George is just there, he's like, meh. George is just standing there. He gets hug-tackled by Carl in the fanfic. Woo! Prison! The vines broke through obsidian because I said so. George exists. George is just there. Dream falls in the water. So compared to everybody else, Dream has been stuck in... So this is currently like April 26th, right? Everybody's been stuck in the egg for about a day, vaguely. Dream's been there since March. Dream has been stuck in been trapped by the egg since March. So he's been much more affected than everybody else that's been trapped by the egg. So he's like way more traumatized than everybody else in this instant by the egg. And like being trapped and everything. So the vines are like eating his chains and everything. So I feel in my soul, I feel the empty hole. The cup that can't be something. Basically, it's like he's feeling all of Sam's emptiness, Sam's misery, Sam's torment, all that. Like he's feeling all of Sam's horrible emotions and feelings that he had that broke him down mentally. Dream feels it as well. I feel it in my blood. Through the fire and the flood. The beast that can't be cured. Essentially, again, Sam's misery, the egg, all of that. Like the fury inside, all of that. And that's to show that he doesn't have the memories of the book anymore. Even now, basically, even though like Puns is worried about him and comes over to hug him and look after him, Dream is so freaked out. And this is like sort of like talking about how he remembers, you know, the olden days with Sapnap and George. And it's like basically this whole thing is like, this whole bit is like, oh, even though everything's happened in our past and everything, you know, the original Dream team, you know, but they, you know, shouldn't love Dream because of what happened to him, what he's done and what he's done to them and what he's done to the others. But like, it's a bit stronger in them. They can't help it, but they miss their friend. And Dream's a bit like, I know that I don't deserve it, and I know that I sort of like pushed you guys away. What happened to Wilbur? So was that over during I explained that. Basically, Mumsa takes him to the afterlife. And here everybody's talking about the different things they need to do. So Eret, Quackity, and Sam Nook are talking about getting rid of the vines, getting shovels, getting holy water, fixing the server. Foolish, Punk, and Hannah are talking about where they don't actually know the original Sam's exact location. They don't know where he is. They don't know what happened to the, you know, if the Sam they knew was a clone. Would the original body of Sam even have his memories? You know, they're talking about all that and sort of lamenting the fact. And here, Tommy, Rambo, and Tubbo are just talking about getting shovels and like getting holy water and stuff like that. Here, the NPCs are just sort of just vibing. They're just, the mobs are just sort of vibing. And Ghostborough and Fundy are bonding. Father-son bonding. We love it. Fran is obviously the most suspicious of Dream because, you know, bad guy. Also, Foolish Jr. has a little doozer there. Attends, 1 second chat, 1 second chat. Sorry, I just had to throw mum out. She's so cool. Sorry. But yeah, anyway. So this is sort of everybody turning around and being like, oh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? So Jack Manifold, out of all of them, is like the most suspicious, essentially. Where's my favorite SMP song? Don't have one. So Jack Manifold, Nikki, H-Bomb, and Connor Eats Pants, who is forever just sort of like existing and blooping and happy. They're just like, what is this? And so Sapnap is sort of like mission like, come on. George is like, George. And Puns is like, ugh. Obviously Dream's a bit freaked out because he doesn't have his mask anymore. He's just like, he's a bit like, oh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this. Okay, fine, that's also okay. Also Sam. Oh, clone Sam, the Sam that we know, is dead. That body is gone. Our Sam is dead. That's why it says dead by drowning, because he's dead. He died. And obviously, and then Dream's like, don't want to be here, freaking out. And then like everybody's like reacting to him being there. So some of them unsure, some of them just like Callahan's just like meep. George just looks at yep. Full transparency, I completely forgot about Purpled. Purpled is there. Purpled is somewhere. Purpled is the friends we made along the way. I completely forgot to include Purpled because there was just too many characters and I just got confused. I got confused in the source. But Purpled is somewhere in the crowd. Alright, just imagine he's there. And basically everybody's a bit like, don't know what to do with this because all of them to a certain aspect have been manipulated by Dream, either directly or indirectly. Obviously Quackity here is like the most like, don't like you. Don't like you. I want to punch you. Rambu's a bit like, don't like this. Rambu has his memories back, so he's a bit like, oh, this sucks. Tubbo and Tommy obviously have the most history with him, like, being targeted. His dreams still have the book. Make people alive. Where's it gone? Oh no, the rubber book's gone for everybody. Nobody has the knowledge anymore, which is why I showed it. This bit here shows that it's gone. Like he doesn't have it. Any of it. He doesn't have the memory anymore. It's gone. So they're going to confront him, and everybody, including Jube, are thinking, "Oh my gosh, they're going to punch him. They're going to kill him." What's my favorite song? I don't have a favorite Dream SMP song. And obviously Dream's a bit like, I'll accept whatever happens to me. In the story, he says that like if they want to kill him, they'll let him. He'll let him kill them. He'll let them kill him, as he says that. But instead of punching him or anything, they just give him a shovel and a bucket and they're like, get to work. There's a lot of shit to do. You've got to do your part. And so he's a bit like, oh, this is not what I expected. Here is to show that Tommy has scars from where Dream killed him in the prison. So Dream's a bit like, oh. But he takes a bucket and shovel, because what else is he gonna do? And then, so everybody, so this is like Skeppy and Bad Boy Halo and people around looking, and then Tubbo and Tommy are, I forgot to draw color in Tommy's eyes, that's fine. Are just like, oop, time to get out of here. There's no redemption. Dream doesn't have a redemption. He has working to be better. He's not actually redeemed, because nobody trusts him yet. They're just sort of like, we've got better things to do than like hang on this bullshit, essentially. So everybody's just about to do their work. Like there's bigger fish to fry than Dream right now. There's chopping the egg again, and there's fixing the server. Like they can't be dealing with that. And so Dream's just standing there, a little bit like, oh, what do I do now? I guess like nobody's paying attention to him. And so he's a bit like, he looks. Where does he look first? The community house that he made with his friends. It's not the original one, but it's still the one they made. So obviously here they're like, oh, that's Dream coming. Also, okay, did everyone know about George friend exit thing? Oh yeah, they talk about it in the fanfic. I know. I'm not a full entire. I know something is coming, and so Dream is a bit like, oh, you know. Bury me beneath the tree. I I climbed when I was a child is basically just them reminiscing on the fact that what happened to Dream's mask. Dream already lost his mask in a prison when he killed Tommy. Basically, it was punched off essentially. In the story, it clattered to the ground when Sam threw him away from Sam's body. So it's like he just didn't have it to begin with. It's just in the prison essentially. It's there. So basically, here they're just reminiscing of their past. Dream feels guilty about it. He feels guilty about it because obviously he knows how much he hurt everyone, so he's feeling guilty about it. And they're still hurt about it. They're still upset with what happened. They haven't really forgiven him yet. Again, I know I shouldn't love you, but I do. And, you know, after everything that's happened, they just want a fresh start. Okay, did Quackity take your friends? Did Quackity say sorry to Dream? Quackity hasn't done anything to Dream at this point, Philippa. So, Quackity and Techno have, like, apologized to each other, but it's like, I can have the thing. I have the quote. I'm trying to find it. Quackity stepped up to Technoblade and a humiliated pink tint to his cheeks. There was a lot of bad blood between the two, misunderstandings, assumptions. It had all led to a lot of hurt and pain. Quackity started, but he was interrupted. Nah, I get it. The crowned man waved off. Let's skip the melodramatic apologies. We both know we're not good at that. Quackity let out a small breath of amused relief, seeing a humid grin on his former enemy's face. They'd probably never be close friends, but now that they understood how the other worked, their pain, their experiences, there was a silent understanding that said they could get along. So they're not on bad terms with each other anymore. And at this point, in this story, Quackity never did anything to Dream. So if anything, Dream has a lot to apologize to Quackity for, like, bullying him and stuff like that. So Quackity's done nothing wrong. Technically, he hasn't done anything wrong in this sense. And they get along later on. So they're basically, like, giving Dream a second... So basically, Sapnap and George, in this instance, are giving Dream a second chance. And he's, like, surprised about it, obviously, because he didn't expect it. But he's like, you know, he's grateful. And, you know, puns did stick by him for all this time, so he does still bring puns along. And they bring him along, and they're sort of, like, awkward and a bit like, oh, this is awkward, but, you know, let's try our best to get along. So months later, I did give a timeline, but I've completely forgotten what it is. But it's like, this is months later. So this probably be like, so if like the whole Red Banquet and Egg thing happened in April 2021, this now would be months later. So it'd be like November 2021. So this is months later. And they've arrived at Sam's original castle, where the body originally is. But Phil remembered because he used to know the place, and he knew shortcuts of how to get there really, really fast with his horse and everything. So yeah, which is why it takes him months instead of years, like he did with Boomer. And so Techno's very unimpressed by the castle. He's like, ew, looks gross. And so they go to the underground laboratory where Sam's original body is. And in original Sam's body, Mindscape, he's basically trapped in his own body. He's basically in the prison of his own mind, made by himself. So instead of it being caused by the egg, it's caused by himself. And it's crying obsidian because, ha ha ha, Pandora's vault was always his own prison. To be continued. Ha. Alright, any questions about that episode before I move on to the last one? Now see, if you guys read my fanfic and paid attention, half of these questions would have been asked. So, why did Sam Corey? What? What? I think you missed the word there, Philippa. Why did Sam copy? What? Do you mean, why did Sam make clones? The Sam get reduced atoms. Sam's okay. Original Sam is fine, but the Sam we know was a clone, and he died. Yeah, he's dead. But the memories and clone Sam's soul returned to original Sam. If you're asking Philippa, sorry. No, are you asking why did Sam make clones? Is that what you're asking, Philippa? Why did Sam make clones? Which is, by the way, canon. It's not me making stuff up. That is canon to the SMP. That is not me. That is all awesome, dude. If you're asking why Sam made clones, he made a cloning machine because he wanted to avoid death. Is basically the original lore summed up. Our Sam dude has a lore video on his channel, so you should watch that. It's Boomer, Filzer, and Sam lore. So you should watch that. But basically, he wanted to make the clone machine so that, you know, people could avoid death and he could help more people and stuff like that. Have a good day. Bye bye. Man, Ropleplaying. He tried. But basically, then him and Filza fell out of their friendship because Filza was like, you should not be avoiding death. That is literally a natural thing. Like, you should not be messing with that. So that's why they fell out. All right. So Filza and Techno are, you know, arriving at Sam's laboratory and they see Sam's body. Original body. And this is like a flashback back to Filza and Sam arguing about the clone machine. So at this point, Filza is arguing. So Sam has just shown Filza how the clone machine works. And so this is Sam's original body in here. And this is the clone. And they're arguing about it. So Sam's saying, I could be helping a lot of people. I can help people avoid death, blah, blah, blah. You know, all these things. And then Filza's saying, that is, you know, that you're messing with the natural balance of the world. Don't do that. Because obviously he's married to the goddess of death, Mumsa. So he's like, don't mess with that. Like, that is, this needs to happen. This is natural. Basically, they can't agree and they just have a falling out and Filza leaves them. Now, years later, when Filza's gotten older, he meets Sam again. So he meets Sam again years later, and this Sam is the Sam that we know, the clone that's in the Dream SMP. Filza doesn't know this, so he's a bit like, huh, what is Sam doing here? And then clone Sam is just having a good time being himself, and he sees Filza and doesn't recognize him. So again, he doesn't recognize who Phil is, and Phil is saddened by this, so he realized, it's a clone, I see. For more details on, like, the whole lore aspect of that sort of thing, watch Sam Dude's original lore video on his VOD channel, because that's where you'll have, like, all the lore stuff, more detail, more understanding, blah, 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 all of that. So you should be watching that. We're back to the present now with Filza looking up at the clone thingy chamber. He's basically, hello, my old friend. Basically, this whole thing is more of a lament of an old lost friend, essentially, for Filza. So Techno at this point is a bit saddened because Techno didn't know about this. He's a bit like, oh. And also he's a bit sad on Filza's behalf. And also he's like, man, this is very dramatic. I don't know. This is a lot of emotions. I want to make a joke, but I can't. So it's a bit of a mix of everything on Filza, on Techno's part. Does Real House have a Sam? Yes, he does. So I'm making basically I'm making a comparison where Filza gave up his heart a long time ago, and that included giving up Wilbur, basically. If you want to get the full context, the full understanding of like Filza's whole mindset in my fanfic, you should read this story, because I'm not going to explain it, because it's a lot. But basically it's like he locked away his own heart and he destroyed his own heart. So neither Filza nor Sam want to be alone, in truth, even though they kind of act like loners in many ways. They don't want to be alone. And this is young Filza. Don't tell me we haven't grown from having loved in a little while. So basically they haven't, I forgot the lyrics especially, but basically they haven't loved in a long time, and that has sort of changed them in a way. I want to find a home and I want to share it with you. In truth, Filza and Sam both want something to last. They want a home, they want a place to belong, and they want to share it with you. And here are the people that they care about. The SMP. For Filza, it's obviously Phil. And for Sam, it's obviously Tommy. Sam cares a lot about Tommy. And here it's, again, a metaphorical representation of Sam, original Sam, locking away his own heart. The other clones locking away his heart in his mind using obsidian. So this is one of the clone designs I have. This is another one. So they're saying, hi, old heart, it's been so long, we've forgotten you, essentially. So basically, I'm making the comparison that Pandora's Vault, all of that, was basically just a big way of just trying to keep Sam's heart safe from the hurt of the world. Will there be another damn... Stop asking me about that, AU. If I make one, I will. If not, I'm not. That's not the question of that. So it's not the time for that. So basically, basically the clones are like, this is like, it's basically just a massive representation of basically Sam was just trying to save himself from her and he ended up messing up. So these are a bunch of different clones, and so they're all like like, oh, let's lock away the heart, blah blah blah, and then somebody says, oh, don't leave me here alone, and this is our Sam that we know from a Dream SMP. So basically, Dream SMP Sam is the only Sam clone that's made any connections. And so he has all these friends, Fran, Puffy, Foolish, Punk, all that. And he's sort of like, we had all these memories with people. I don't want to be alone. I want to have my friends. I want to be with my friends. I want to have these connections. I want to have these relationships. I want to have these attachments, these memories. So he's kind of, so Dream SMP Sam is kind of is basically conflicting with the other Sams, we have clones, because basically he's like, I want to be with people. I don't want to just not have attachments. I want, I want a home, essentially. And then this is like, in a way, Dream SMP Sam wanting to reach out to Filza, but obviously Dream SMP Sam is dead, so it's just the memories of Dream SMP Sam wanting to reach out to Filza and sort of make a home with him, with his friends. And so I guess like Phil is sort of hoping that would sort of reach out to Sam and sort of like wake him up, but obviously it doesn't work like that. And so he's saddened by this. What you're gonna see. So obviously in this, he's basically literally asking Sam, like, how is it being locked away? So don't you worry, in there you're safe. So he's kind of like understanding why Sam did this. Of like, Sam wanted to avoid the hurt of death and the hurt of the world and stuff like that. And so he understands. So that, yeah, you'll never break, but you'll never grow, but you'll never break. And so if Techno's also understanding this, he's also understanding his sadness, but he disagrees. And so, yeah, sure, you'll never beat. Young Filza also give up his own heart. Sure, you'll never beat my own heart, Sam, but you'll never break. And here is showing Wilbur and Tommy, who have both broken because they felt too strongly. The world hurt them. They were, it wasn't meant to be. And so they've both been hurt in different ways because they let their hearts beat. And here, Techno is like, I'ma cut the drama. So some things are meant to be, he's laughing a little bit because that's what, you know, Eret, Wilbur, and Nikki all said, you know, it's like, it wasn't meant to be, sort of thing. So it's kind of like a nod back to the lore. So Techno saying, yeah, I understand. I get why you're saying this. So it's saying, so basically Techno's saying, but you'll never find the answers if you don't say a heart free. But basically he's saying, if you don't let, if you try and avoid the pain of the world, you also stop yourself from having good memories. So in the story, Techno remembers that Sam really enjoyed having the pranks with his friends, you know, cleaning up after his friends' chaos and sort of that, and laughing with people like Tommy and stuff like that. He remembers that, and so he's like, if we leave him here, we're denying him those moments as well, basically. So it's kind of like the whole message of like, if you try to save yourself from hurt all the time, you're also denying yourself the chance to be happy, because sometimes you have to go through a little bit of hurt to be happy. Some things get worse before they get better, sort of thing. What is the best part and what is part hard to make? Okay, the episode 4 was the hardest to make. My favorite part is probably this episode, because it is very soft and sweet and cute and makes me happy. And Techno's like, I'm very good at breaking things, however, so I'm gonna get him out of there. So he's breaking the glass, and then obviously original Sam is like, ooh, what's this? He's noticing that he's waking up. And he's now awake. Yay, he's free. But his body is weak, so that's why he's trembling. Sam reaches out to him. In the story, in the fanfic, Sam doesn't immediately recognize him, but he knows that he knows Phil. So he remembers that he knows Phil. Yay, friendship! And obviously it was like the first time that Sam would remember Phil, and so Phil like hugs him deeply. How long does it take? A few weeks. About a week for each episode, give or take. And so obviously they hug because it's cute and it's happy and it's wholesome and it's babies. And then Techno punches Sam's shoulder for trapping him. Because he's like, how dare you trap me? How very rude. And the fanfic goes on a little bit longer. It explains that like Sam's hesitant to go back to the Dream SMP, and Techno's like, we have traveled months to find you. You're coming home, essentially. And so they all ride on the horse Carl and fills his horse back home, and it takes months. And it's like, woo, months later. So months later, this would have been like, I forgot how many months I said. Like June? Something like that. June 2022. Bye, Froggy. So they'd be back like June 2022. And so at this point, the egg's been like properly trapped and sealed away. A bunch of the vines have been cleaned up, and they're now rebuilding the SMP and stuff like that. So they're rebuilding everything. So here you have, you know, new houses, everything. Here you have Wilbur and Fundy talking. You've got Friend, you've got Fran, you've got Samnook, you've got Tommy, and you've got Dream, and then just people just existing happy, whatever. And then like Church Prime has been fixed, and it's like good. They're just putting yeah, pretty much. It's just making it like egg proof everywhere essentially. But this is Church Prime essentially. And here you have housing for newcomers. You got Tina Keaton, you got Michael McChill, CPK, Amesy, Aaron, Boomer. They're having breakfast together. This is Dream. This is Tommy. They're basically just discussing. Okay, we've got some newcomers who have come over and who are like wanting to settle. So like, how can we build their homes? And in the fanfic, they go more into detail about it. So they're just vibing, having breakfast, talking about plans. You know, new things to build. Fran notices that Techno people have come back. Everybody notices there's a sheep pen over here, blah blah blah, all that. This is the same pose that she did when she attacked possessed Sam, and she's jumping onto original Sam this time. And he's a bit like, oh my goodness. And he gets tackled over. You're still like, yeah, I'm not done. I'm on the last episode. And Sam and Tukna's like, oh my. And so Fran is really happy to see Sam again because she recognizes that this is her Sam. She can sense that he has Dream SMP Sam's memories, and this is her Sam, and he knows her and all of that. So she knows that this is him. And Tommy is also really excited to see him. Tommy's grown. He wears his hair in a low ponytail now. He's got bandana on. And he's still got the scarring, but he's not bothered by it anymore. And Fran is just really, really happy to have her Sam back. And so Tekno's just happy to be here. He's like, yay. He's petting Carl on the face. Foolish and Punk are like, huzzah, friend. And Tommy is like, there's no more egg. There's no more revival book. Everything's great. And Sam is just really happy to see that Tommy's doing well. And then obviously Fran is like, yay, Sam. Wilbur as well. A bunch of the others are happy. Crackety, obviously old friends with Sam, so he's also like, my best employer, my best employee, come build more things for me. I can imagine him saying that. And obviously Dream has a lot of bad blood with Sam, so he's feeling really awkward about it. He's like, oh, yikes. In the fanfic, it's explained that Quackity and Jack Manifold have taken it upon themselves to like keep a very close eye on Dream to make sure he doesn't mess up anymore and he doesn't like try to manipulate people again. But for the time being, Dream has been very he's been very like, I'm just here to try and do better. I'm just here to improve as a person, essentially. And so obviously Crackety and Punk are like, ooh, dear, this is not going to end well because that Dream. Foolish is a little bit more optimistic. And Tommy and Fran are just like, this is fun. Like, on good behavior. Yeah, he's on good behavior. And obviously, because Sam saw Dream's original memories, he understands where dreams come from. He understands like the loneliness, because him and Dream are basically two sides of the same coin. Both of them wanted to avoid death. They didn't want to be alone. They wanted their friends and all of that. So they're sort of like, so he understands where dreams come from, and so he's had months to think about it. So he's like, well, we can work it out, essentially. And so Dream is like obviously relieved, because at the end of the day, Sam and Dream were good friends because they were one of the original members of the SMP. And so now they're just like really awkward with each other. They're like, oh, hi. And he's like, hi. I've got a lot of apologies to say. Me too. And so everybody's getting along now. Filzo walks past them as Dream recover what happened in the egg cocoon. I mean, not really. I mean, he's literally been traumatized into being a good guy, so I don't know how much he could recover from that. He's trying his best. And then Filzo walks past them and goes towards Ghostbur, who's a bit like, hi, you gonna talk to me now? And obviously Fundy is a bit like, this didn't end well last time. Poor Dream, he deserves it. He's an asshole. He was mean first. The egg just got him better. And here Phil is hugging Wilbur, and Fundy's like, oh, this is different. Obviously, Ghostbur is not going to argue about getting a hug from his dad, so he gets a hug, and then Filza is like reaching out to Fundy, and is like, ooh, friend, family, yay, family, and then basically it's like, basically, they're really totally not complicated way I've got about explaining this. Is basically Phil opened his heart again, and to basically just enjoy, instead of just being detached from the world and being like, nothing lasts, so I'm not going to attach myself to it. He's letting himself be attached to things, even if they're temporary, like Fundy, like Ghostbur, you know, they're temporary, because it feels as far as he's always going to live forever, and people like Fundy aren't, and they're going to become ghosts and stuff like that. I mean, Ghostbur's going to stick around, but it's more like Ghostbur represents a lot of hurt for Filza, so he never opened his heart up to him. But now here, Filza's finally opening his heart up to making connections again, real attachments again, and sort of letting things go, and being parents again, being a dad again, essentially. Puffy can help. Puffy cannot help. She's doing her own things. Nobody gets therapy. You're all denied therapy. No. And so basically, because Filza has like opened his heart up again and hugged Ghostbur, it's Wilbur in limbo is feeling warmth and alive for the first time. He's feeling love, you know, his father's love. And because he's feeling that, Mumza is able to make a map to him because she feels that Filza has like reconnected with Ghostbur, and so in that way she's able to pinpoint Wilbur's location, which means she's able to break through the fabric of his limbo and finally find him. And then she finds him, and then so she finds him. So she finds him, and Wilbur's like, "Mum, Mama." So have the same feeling, or yeah. So basically, they're connected. Basically, so at first they weren't because Filza wasn't able to. So basically, Ghostbur was rejected a lot. But when Filza finally accepted Ghostbur, Wilbur was able to feel that, and because of that, Mums was able to find him and get him and take him home to the afterlife. And so that's how that works. Basically, the power of love saved everyone, essentially. And then in the story after that, it shows that because Filza has opened his heart up again, Memza now has a connection between the afterlife and the Dream SMP this way, so she was able to go around and find the other ghosts with the help of Ghostbur. With the help of Wilbur, rather. Sorry, not Ghostbur. And end scene is basically the end of the fanfic, where basically just there's a bunch of shenanigans happening, a bunch of silly goofs happening, and Sam is just enjoying the surroundings. Foolish is getting mad at Zuzos for trying to eat his pumpkin pie. Sam is making pumpkin pie again, like he used to. Fran is happy. They're making plans here. Sam is helping with rebuilding the SMP. Punk in the fanfic is trying to rebuild his tree for the umpteenth time, with Tubbo and Tommy helping him because they accidentally destroyed his trees again. They didn't mean to, but you know, old habits die hard. But here he's bringing his little lemons to come in for a picnic. And in the fanfic, there's just a bunch of tying up some loose ends and just a bunch of cute interactions, some arguing, some like, for example, Quackity and Dream sort of coming to terms, stuff like that. So it's a bunch of like getting together and just being friends again. And that is it. That is the end. There we go. He's very old. He is very old. Quite right. Quite true. He is very old. That is very correct. That is a correct statement. Very true. And that is everything. Right. Any last Q&A? If he was the original started, wait. If he was there when original started doing his kind of thing, then yes. Oh yeah. Very old. Very old indeed. All right. Any final questions before I end stream? Anything? You're going to have a video explanation, if I can edit it in time, tomorrow probably. I have like a full, why Fran's so cute babe all the time? Because she's a doggy. She's a doggo. Should I give Phil therapy? You leave the Dream SMP characters alone. Anything to do with the possessed Sam AU. I see you. I see you. I see you trying to be sneaky. Trying to be sneaky. Anyway. Damn it. Yeah, I know. I know. I see you. I see you trying to be sneaky about it. You won't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Will egg try to get real Sam or not? No. The egg's trapped. The egg can't get out. The egg has been buried again. What is it out of the stream, huh? No. Is something in the now? Or Dana, I don't understand what your question. Can they not kill it? I explained that in the fanfic. They're a bit, because they still have the physical egg, they don't know if something's inside of it or not. So they decided that it's better to just bury it, essentially, and just cover it in holy water, just hope for the best. I basically just try and keep it in a constantly weakened state and just seal it. If something happens 100 years or something like that, that's not their problem. So, it's permanently sealed. Will there be more GrimSFW AU ideas? Maybe in the future. I'm trying to work some stuff for the Awesome Dad AU for Christmas, but we'll see. Depends how that goes. It still feels problem. Pish posh. You're thinking too hard about it. Leaving problems for the next generation, of course. Of course! That's how everything works. No, I'm of the opinion that the egg probably just ends up dissolving in the water or something. Like one of those, like, dissolving pills. That's a real canon. That's a real canon. Alright. Is something in there now? Or Dana, I don't understand what that means. Some in the egg now. No. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Don't leave us the next generation. It's fine. No, it's fine. The egg dissolved like one of just dissolving pills. It's fine. It dissolved in the holy water. There you go. If you want the real canon, that's the end. It just died. Whatever. It died along with Sam. Whatever. I don't care. You're not getting a continuation of this anyway, so might as well have. Feels like 100 years. Probably, who knows? Old man. That's all that matters. An old man. Any last questions before I end stream? Poor Sammy. So Phil was alive at the beginning of, at the dawn of time. Any last questions before I skedaddle out of here? Phil met the dinosaurs. Oh, funny. Da da da. Bam bam ba da dum bam ba da dum bam bam ba ba bam. Ba ba bam. Ba ba bam. Ba ba bam. Da 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 da. Ba da ba ba bam. Nope. Alright. Alright. Cool. I'm gonna end stream. You might get an explanation video soon. I want to say tomorrow, but I'll say soon. And all of this will be linked. This stream will also be in the Possess Sam AU playlist. Cool? Neat. Alright. I'm gonna end stream. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.